Am I the asshole? For refusing to attend a wedding in another state with my 8-month-old baby? I have been having a few tricky discussions with my husband and his family over a wedding that's happening later this year. I don't want to go, but people keep telling me I should just deal with it and figure out a way. Let me give some background. The groom is my husband's cousin. They're not that close, they only see each other once every year or so at large family events and never keep in touch in between. The wedding is in another state and we'd need to catch a plane there as it's too far to drive. We received an invitation, and we heard through the grapevine that we could bring our baby. My gut instinct told me double check with the bride. I didn't want to commit the faux pas of bringing a baby to a wedding if it was not what the bride wanted. And sure enough, when we emailed her, she replied and said very clearly, sorry, it's a baby-free wedding. Of course that's fine, it's her choice, her special day. So we replied and told them that husband would attend alone as I would have to stay at home with the baby. He's 8 months old and still breastfeeding, so I can't just leave him back home easily. Not long after we sent the RSVP about me not coming, several people contacted us including the bride and groom trying to persuade us to go. Apparently now they'd changed their minds and the baby could now come to the wedding since they wanted me there too. I told my husband I didn't want to go. Even though the bride had done a 180 on the no baby rule, I still felt he was too young to attend and it would be too difficult to go interstate. I'd probably spend half if not most of the wedding absent, due to nursing, baby making noises and babbling during the ceremony and of course bedtime at 7:30 p.m. In my opinion, this is too much hassle for a short amount of family time, but my husband is upset and really wants us to make the effort and I'm starting to feel like I'm being unreasonable for putting my foot down and saying it was too hard. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You do not want to go, and you have valid reasons why. Just tell your husband he can go alone, but you will not be attending. You are not being unreasonable. And in any case it will save on flights, and if he asks a relative could put him up for a couple of nights saving money on hotels as well. Not the asshole. Don't put a little baby and yourself through all that, especially as you are nursing. The bride told you how she really felt and then she got pressured to change her stance. Not the asshole. Clearly, the bride has been pressured, just as you're being pressured. She wasn't strong enough to stand her ground. Do both yourself and the bride a favor by not giving in. Plus 8 months is a hard age to travel with. They're restless and curious, they want to writhe around and crawl and touch things and explore, and they aren't old enough to entertain with anything for more than a few minutes. Nah. We attended my Bill's wedding when our youngest was 20 months and took them with us. In hindsight we wished we hadn't bothered, as although I managed the ceremony and dinner I was basically out for everything else as the baby needed nap-fed, was grumpy from being overstimulated with so many people. Not the asshole. They don't want you there, the family just wants to see the baby. Trust your gut, you will regret agreeing to go. Husband wants us to make the effort. No. Breastfeeding mom, the effort is all on you. Not the asshole. Majorly also, germs. Not the asshole. What part of the effort is your husband making? Beyond attempting to guilt you, that is? Nah, not the asshole. Not worth the $1 of traveling if you're not super close. You'll be stuck with your baby, not your husband. So it's not like you will be having a normal wedding party experience, plus end up resentful as you'll know you should have stuck to your original decision. They shouldn't have said it was a baby kid-free wedding and then changed their mind. That trip sounds like hell with a baby. Stay home. I can't believe your husband isn't okay with that. He'll just have to get over it. Not the asshole. And I suspect the bride has been railroaded not changing her stance. Perhaps the family want the baby there as an opportunity to show them off to the wider family. Not very considerate of the very real practicalities at play. Not the asshole. And no is a complete answer. I understand explaining it to your husband. But that's between the two of you. But if you don't want to go, there is no reason for anyone to pressure you. Nah, but I think the biggest problem is that you originally checked if you could bring the baby. You should have declined for all the reasons you have stated. But by asking it makes it seem like you were willing to go, then have taken the huff when originally told no, which makes it awkward for your husband. Not the asshole. All of your reasons for not wanting to go are super valid. Nah. Sounds like they really want you there, but stand firm on your no. If it was a closer family member it would be worth considering, but you're good. Nah. It is a little weird that you would ask the bride if you can bring the baby when you weren't sure you were actually comfortable bringing the baby. She probably caught some heat from the family over this and it was all for nothing. Now the bride probably thinks you're not coming because you're annoyed about her initial response. That doesn't mean you have to go to the wedding. Just send a follow-up text assuring the couple your decision wasn't personal. It's one of the Reddit grandmas here. I'm 60 years old, and have some experience with this. I will share. Many times throughout my adult life, I have been pestered to go somewhere I really didn't want to go. And sometimes, in moments of stupidity or low blood sugar, I have said yes. Oh, the regret. One of the awfulest feelings I've felt. It clings to you the whole event. You're thinking, oh, if I was home I'd be in the bathtub eating cookies always. For a happier life, go with your instincts. And don't let people talk you into stuff. In general. Absolute best of luck to you. Definitely nah. You're the type of mom we need on airplane and public places. Big thanks for such consideration, not only for your baby, yourself, but also for others. And your husband is upset? Really? Not the asshole. He can go alone. Not the asshole. Babies are tough, especially your first. You already asked and they said that they didn't want the baby there. Send your husband, if he would like to go, as family is important and he would see a bunch. Don't feel pressure if going. In a year from now this will all be an honest you all around. Just be honest and say you don't want to go. There are valid reasons, so quit making excuses. Not the asshole. It'd be different if this wedding was taking place in a family-friendly culture. But it's not. You were initially told no for a reason. Everyone is probably going to have more fun without the baby present. Including yourself. You'll have a better time staying home. Not the asshole. Someone else on a Reddit post said that an invitation is not a summons. That has stuck with me. We all need to remember that when deciding to attend events. Definitely not the asshole. Having said that, I attended a wedding with a 3-month-old out of state and had a great time. Many people wanted to hold her, and I had lovely breaks dancing my hiney off. I don't think anyone is an R in this situation. This is probably a wildly unpopular opinion, but I don't understand the number of posts on here that have to do with cancelling plans because of baby child. Of course, traveling with kids can be challenging, but I don't understand the mindset of putting your social life on hold because breastfeeding, nap time, bedtime. Yes, I have 2 kids. I think the more you go out places, the easier it gets. I went with my second child at 9 months old with her just over 2-year brother interstate, 1,000 miles away on a plane. I fed her in between the ceremony and reception, then fed her again about 8 p.m. put her to bed, stayed with her for an hour, then hubby came to the room for an hour whilst I went back to wedding to chat to hubby's sisters. If you don't want to go, that's fine. If it's only your baby there as the only child under 2 years, they'll probably get overstimulated though. Not the asshole. Of course your husband thinks it's no trouble because he won't be the one breastfeeding and taking the baby out when he's babbling and putting him to bed. It's unfair to pressure ruin into this, especially for a wedding of someone you are not close to. Not the asshole. You're not preventing your husband from going. But why ask the bride if you can take your baby if you weren't actually thinking of going? If this was your side of the family, would your response be the same? Only you know the answer to that. Not the asshole. Generally a wedding is not an event for a kid that small.